Good morning, friends. I am in my car, but as you can see, I am not driving. I am very much parked. I'm actually in a parking garage because it is 7:17 in the morning and I am at my IVF doctor's office. My appointment is not until 7:45. I don't think they even open until 8. So I figured I might as well give you guys a little bit of an update as to what's going on. Obviously, the lighting is not ideal because I'm in a car in a parking garage. And I don't know what the audio must be like either. My car is all dusty. But this is real life. So why am I here? Why am I doing this update right now? Today, I am 4 weeks and 2 days pregnant until proven otherwise. And I wanted to tell you guys a little bit about the symptoms I'm feeling so far. The reason that I'm at the office right now today is because as soon as I got my positive, I messaged my IVF doctor's office and I told them I have a positive. Is there any way that you all can give me a lab order so that I can go and get my HCG levels checked and then get them rechecked, a couple days later, what have you, because that's the best indicator of whether or not a pregnancy is viable and growing as it should be. Is every day, every week that you're pregnant, whatever, there's a range of numbers that your HCG or your beta should be to indicate fetal growth. And so because the range is so wide, I feel like in the 4th week it's anywhere between like 8 and 700 or something, like the number 8, not 800, the number 8 and 700, huge range. So the best indicator person to person is to do a comparison, right? So like if today it's 8, tomorrow you want it to be at least 16, and so on and so on. So they gave me the order and told me go to the lab tomorrow, being Saturday. I don't know when was the last time they tried to make an appointment for a Saturday at a lab, or for the next day actually at a lab, but that just doesn't happen. So what I did is that on Saturday morning, I got up very, very early, drove the 20 some odd minutes to the lab that I go to, walked in expecting to find the place full, but also expecting to just wait. Even if it took a couple hours, let me just wait and do the blood draw and get it over with. The way that they do things now is that you must have an appointment, and if you don't have an appointment, you can check in and try to get a wait list time. But once they have a certain amount of people on the wait list, they stop accepting people because they have to close by X time, and they're not going to be just continuously bringing people in because then they're never going to close. So I got there like an hour after they opened thinking it's a Saturday morning, it can't be that full. They wouldn't see me. They had already reached max capacity for the wait list. So I came back home. I said, okay, fine. I will make an appointment for Monday and see what happens. No appointments on Monday. However, I did have the option to pay $60 to have somebody come to my home and do a blood draw. Never done that before, but I figured hopefully they're not a weirdo. Let me go ahead and do that. I did that. Monday rolls around. I'm waiting. Nobody's showing up. Nobody has so much as given me a, hey, I'm on my way. So I double check, and the appointment was actually made for some reason for next Monday. Obviously unacceptable. So I go back and forth with them. They tell me this earliest we can go is next Monday. I tell them, then never mind, just cancel. I call my actual OBGYN, who's associated with the hospital network, I guess. And I tell them what's happening. And they say, well, we'll tell your doctor because your doctor can order the test for you. We'll get back to you. And I think to myself, that's not going to do because my anxiety is not going to allow me to just sit back and wait for these people. So I have my husband come get me because we're a 1-car family, so I can't just go. I have my husband come get me. We take kiddo to my mom's. I leave hubby at work and I drive down to my OBGYN's office. It so happens that in the same building, it looks like a strip mall, but it's an enclosed strip mall and it's all just a medical building. In the same building, there is my OBGYN. Literally across the hallway is my primary doctor, and just down the hallway from them is the lab. The lab is specifically and exclusively a courtesy lab for patients of this doctor. You can't just walk in off the street and go into this lab, which meant they would not take the order that I had from this IVF doctor. I had to get an order from my OBGYN that's associated with them. So I walk into their office and I say, hey, so I called about an hour and a half ago. This is what's going on. I figure by now the order must be in the system. So can I have it so that I can just come down here to the lab? No, actually, your doctor's on vacation. I don't know who you talked to earlier, but your doctor's on vacation and he's not coming back for several days. Like, okay, well, certainly there's another OB in the office that can write me the order, because I have seen other people here before. Like, they're not my doctor, but I have seen other people. Actually, there's not a single OB on staff today. Jeez Louise. Okay, well then what can we do? The ladies at the front desk did not seem at all interested in helping me, but they told me to have a seat. I was already plotting to just literally walk across the hallway and ask my primary for the HCG test, because she has ordered them for me before. But right when I was resolved to go do that, they called me back up to the front desk. These things have been a lifesaver, by the way, not sponsored or anything, but they really have been a lifesaver so far. They called me back up to the front. They put me on the phone with a nurse, and the nurse asked me when was the date of my last menstrual period. I told her, and she said, okay, give me 5 minutes, your order will be at the lab. Trying not to make this a mukbang because I hate when people talk with their mouths full, but like, I'm struggling right now. So anyway, in no time at all, in less time it took me to drive to the lab on Saturday, I'm in and out of there with my blood drawn. Cool. They tell me it'll be 24 hours until I get my results. I messaged my IVF doctor. This is all happening yesterday. I messaged my IVF doctor because they're awful at picking up the phone. And they tell me, finally, oh yeah, come in tomorrow so we can do your blood draw. And I tell them, well, I already did a blood draw here, but they only drew the HCG. And in your order, you wanted HCG and progesterone. So I can definitely report back what they tell me. And I already have an appointment for Thursday to go and do your labs, right? To repeat the labs. So, then you'll have those. And they said, no, that's not going to do, because we want both numbers. So come in tomorrow at 7:45 if you're able, or come in at such another time or whatever. And I said, no, you know what? Let me just do 7:45, because that way, hopefully I'm back home before hubby and kiddo even wake up, and the day can just go on as usual. And it just so happens that I came to the doctor this morning. It worked out that kiddo woke up really early yesterday, so he went to bed at a decently early hour last night. So I was able to get a good-ish amount of rest before having to wake up so early. So yeah, I'm here now, and I'm gonna eat my little protein bar. I'm now 20 minutes away from my appointment time. So basically, as soon as I finish eating this, I'm gonna go downstairs and try to walk in. And the reason that I wanted to do this now is because the results from the other test are still not in. So I still have no idea what's going on. I've been doing my best to not Google anything, to not fill my head with expectations, because I don't want to drive myself bonkers comparing myself and what's going on with me to what's normal and nitpicking and what have you, especially because at this stage of my pregnancy, everything is normal. All of my hormone levels are precisely where they're supposed to be, and I know that because I've been daily testing my hormones, much to my husband's, like, he keeps telling me, babe, but stop doing that because you're gonna drive yourself crazy. But he doesn't realize that if I don't do it, I'll go even crazier, because I need something to show me that everything is fine or not. I actually initially started testing so that if I saw the numbers dwindling, I can say to myself, okay, there it is, concrete. This is not going anywhere, so don't get too attached. And it's sad and it's awful, but at least you won't be surprised later if things go wrong. And much to my delight, but also I know that at this point maybe it doesn't mean anything. Much to my delight, my hormone levels at home have stayed steady or climbed every single time. So but as of this moment, it's Schrodinger's pregnancy. Like, the numbers are out there. The lab numbers from yesterday are out there somewhere, but I don't know them yet. I'm about to get my blood drawn again, but I don't know yet what the comparison will be. So as of right now, anything could still happen. And that's why I wanted to do an update now before I know for sure potentially what's going on and things potentially are really, really great or really, really not. So far, in these last 5 days, I've been feeling tired and then little bursts of just fatigue. Like, I cannot move. I'm so beat. I've also been, honestly, if I have to, we're talking about bodies, right? So if this makes you squeamish or you don't want to hear about it, go ahead and click away. But talking about what's going on in my body, the most obvious and prevalent thing that I'm experiencing is gas and bloating. And it's horrible because I feel gassy, I feel crampy, I feel, but I can't, it won't leave, it won't move, I can't get rid of it. So it just swirls around in my belly and is very, very painful. As such, I'm also experiencing heaviness in my uterus that might be cramping in my uterus, which to a degree is normal at this stage. But a lot of the time I realize that if I shift position or if I do manage to break wind, the cramping goes away. So it might mostly just be the gas and bloating that I'm feeling and not necessarily anything going on in my uterus. I am very, very aware of my uterus and its placement constantly though, but that might just be me. I've had doctors in the past tell me that I am very, very, very hyper aware of everything going on in my body. That might be to do with some of my neurodivergence, but that's a good thing and a bad thing because it makes me very anxious over things that other people might not even notice are happening. But also it means that I am vigilant and aware of things going on in my body that could be a problem that other people don't notice. So I'm very aware of my uterus and its placement at all times. I've been eating less and I've been eating like I don't want to eat until I feel really, really terrible and then I have to eat, hence. But nothing sounds good to me. My husband actually noticed yesterday and I was like, whoa, that's true. I hadn't realized that everything is tasting and smelling sweet to me and it's grossing me out. I really wanted a Sprite a couple days ago and he got me one and I couldn't drink it because it was so sweet. It just tasted like bubbly sugar water and it was disgusting, and that shouldn't have normally been the case. Yesterday, I forgot what I was eating. I genuinely don't remember. I'm trying so hard to rack my brain and think about what I ate yesterday, and it was like, it wasn't supposed to be sweet, or sweet was just supposed to be one of the things, but all I tasted was sweet. And there was something else, I think it was my husband's vape or some other such nasty thing like that. And I smelled it and it wasn't even, he didn't even smoke it. It was just near me and I was like, Jesus, so sweet. And he was the one that pointed out, like, you know, you've been complaining about sweet a lot in the last couple of days. Like, man, you're right. Like, everything is just, it's so sweet. So that's something else that's going on. And then, you know, waves of nausea, but no puke yet. It's very hard for me to puke, but I will spend all day nauseous. So that's fantastic. That's happening. And then the last thing is that my nipples are hot. Like, I can feel them through my shirt, hot to the touch. They're very, very sensitive if I don't have just the right bra on, because it can't be too tight, but it can't be too loose. But yeah, other than that, I'm exercising normally, because the way I'm looking at it, at best, the movement helps my mental health. It helps my physical health. I got here because I'm exercising, at least partly. So all good things. And at worst, I don't want to slack off in case we do still have to do IVF at a later date. Then I have to get back on my grind. Better to just not get off the grind to begin with I don't want to eat this, but I also feel bad if I don't keep eating. Like, I will feel bad if I don't keep eating. So yeah, that's the update. I've been talking for quite a while now, and that's how I'm feeling. That's what's going on. We're still in the great unknown, and I don't know when I'll be back with another update. Hopefully it will all be good news, but for now, that's what's happening. In case I haven't mentioned it, it is July 16th today. Let me double check for you guys. July 16th, 2024. It's a Tuesday. So yeah, here's to the great unknown. And here's hoping that whatever news we get is good news. Bye.